lines in Myanmar. And she said, I am fighting for federal democracy. It's probably 50-50 as to whether I'm going to survive. The area that I went to is called Karenni State. It's this mass of different groups who are fighting to unseat the junta. One morning, we went to what was called a graduation ceremony for the 8th Battalion of the KNDF. They yelled in unison, saying that they were fighting for, again, federal democracy in English. And they were getting shipped off to the front lines. Myanmar, for about 5 decades, was ruled by a really bad military junta. In 2015, there were nationwide democratic elections, and it's this moment of incredible hope. And then February 1st, 2021, there's a coup, and everything stops. This is the church. And what thousands and tens of thousands ended up doing was just been completely destroyed. They started fighting back. It's not just soldiers, it's doctors and lawyers and poets. I love you, I love you. And the rebels now control roughly 90% of Karenni State. I think in the beginning people said, oh, well, it's not going to work. Other militias have formed and they've all not been able to do anything. This time is different. These are the living quarters of doctors from all over Myanmar. I think that young people in particular know how much they've lost. Most of them have not been able to see their family for years. There was a medic named Lin Nitzo, and she was a medical student in a big city in Myanmar. And then the coup occurs, and she realizes that she wanted to stand up. She was one of the rare medics who was willing to show her face.
It is very risky for my family, I know that. But I think there will be someone who show the reality in order to show the world what is happening in Myanmar.
She suddenly ends up in the middle of the jungle and meets a bunch of other young doctors. They're trying to save lives of both civilians and soldiers.
We have to do by ourselves to escape from this kinds of hell.
The one question that I got over and over was, why doesn't the world care? And I think that's why it was really important to go. And it's not easy to go. But we have to be able to give voice to these people who have a story to tell about this fight for democracy. The idea that a bunch of young kids from the cities would partner with these armies that have been fighting the junta for decades seemed kind of like a pipe dream. But there is the potential for the resistance movement to push into the heartland of Myanmar. That's really never been done before, and that will drastically change the nature of the game.